Your team sucks. Live. We're live. We're going to do a draft. We're going to do a fantasy draft. And I have to admit that I suck at fantasy sports. But luckily for me, I'm competing against Jordan and Matt. So it won't really matter.
Mm.
So Jordan's going to walk us through. We're going to make our picks. You guys can tell us why we're right, why we're wrong. I'm going to put up some individual players here on the screen. Football is almost here. It's awesome. Really, it's a week from this Thursday. The NFL starts very abrupt this year. It's very strange how it's all going to go down. But obviously, there's a ton of freaking fantasy groups out there. So join in, check out what we're doing. Yay, fantasy! Take it away, Jordan.
I am so excited. It's like fantasy football mock draft season. What with all that info? Do you hear that?
Yes,
That's bad.
it just stopped.
That's bad.
Put on your goddamn headphones, Matt.
Me?
I think so.
Yes.
All good. It's fantasy football mock draft season. I'm pretty excited right now. We've been using the Fantasy Pros thing, running through a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different things. Got some player cards to work on your draft kits for y'all. So just a little bit of information that'll help you get set up for your draft. Know who to take, who not to take. So let's jump right into it. All right, guys.
Let's
I'm
do
gonna
it.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this on my screen right quick for y'all, so that you can see what I'm looking at, and then we'll pop up some stats and different things as well. So here we go.
As you can tell, Jordan absolutely loves fantasy sports. He lives in a fantasy world. So it's an absolute perfect fit. So that is why he is incredibly excited about our fantasy draft here. And I mean, all in all, it's all fun, right?
It's all
Let me
fun,
add
right?
that in there. There we go.
All right, so you can see this right now. We're running a PPR league, which is points per reception. I'm sure you already know that.
Matt, you got to mute, buddy. There you go.
Let's go ahead and randomize. What pick do y'all want to be in this little mock draft right here?
I'll be first.
Well, we're all the same pick, so who wants to give us fourth? How about that? That'll give us a lot to talk about. We do one QB in the league, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex position, 1 tight end, 1 kicker, 6 on the bench, so kind of a deep bench. We'll go ahead and get started now. Fantasy Bros. And I love fantasy because you can also bet player props and whatnot. It's all about the stats, right?
Yeah, and by the way, UWager is they give us all of our lines and all the most of the data for this show. We appreciate that. They are running a special right now. You'll see a promo code in the post here. Go check it out. It's a pretty good, nice bonus to start your NFL season. Give it a roll. What's up, Jordan?
All right, so let's start talking about these players. Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, regardless of what type of league you're in, especially in PPR, but in any league, should be the first pick in the draft. I see people get cute and take Barkley, take Elliott. I've even seen some Kamara and some Henry get taken there, but it should definitely be Christian McCaffrey, number 1 overall, even with the quarterback change. What do you guys think?
I like McCaffrey, but the odds of him having the year that he had last year are not great. They have a very difficult schedule this year. I don't know if he's number 1 this year. I think a lot of these numbers are based on last year, and it's a completely different year because of COVID. And he's got a new quarterback, I believe, but I don't know. I wouldn't draft him number 1.
Who would you take number 1?
I would probably take somebody like Ezekiel Elliott number 1, and I'm not a Cowboy fan. I just think he's due to have a breakout year. I think they have a new coach, and I think he's just going to have a huge year. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think he'll have a big year.
Okay, what I liked about Christian McCaffrey as your number 1 pick is his snap share at 98.4. He's playing almost every snap, and he's getting the ball more than any other running back, and especially in the red zone. He's getting all of their red zone catches, and if it's a PPR league, they're throwing to him all the time. He was averaging 29.4 points per game PPR. That's far better than anybody else. I like Zeke under the new coach. I don't think they did not throw to him very much last year. You can go ahead and put Zeke's card up if you want in comparison. I think Zeke is probably a good number 2. What do you think, Matt?
Well, as we talked about on one of the earlier shows, we were in this situation, me and you, Jordan, last season, and you took McCaffrey and I took Saquon Barkley, and you crushed everybody pretty much because McCaffrey was just so amazing. I think we talked about it last week too, that he went over 1,000 yards rushing and catching last year. So in PPR leagues, he will continue to be a monster. I think he's an obvious number 1 pick here.
I think so too. I think also he made it towards the end of the year last year because they weren't scoring as many touchdowns, but he's one of the few running backs who's not touchdown dependent. I like Saquon Barkley for his catching ability too.
Yeah, I think Barkley's a great pick.
So yeah,
he's young. Obviously, he's got a quarterback that's up and coming. They're still going to lean heavily on him. He is a tremendous talent. I mean, you can't go wrong with picking him probably in the first, obviously the first round or even second round. Obviously, if he's left, you probably won't be left though.
Yeah, we can't go wrong.
I mean, I'm just going to hope that he doesn't get hurt again.
So in this draft, we're in the number 4 spot. Okay, there's a couple of different draft strategies. A lot of people are going with this 0 running back strategy, where you get 2 of the best wide receivers. If you notice, we got Michael Thomas and Davante Adams still on the board. Alvin Kamara is still on the board. Now news has come out of the camp that he's had some contract disputes, missed some practice recently. Are we concerned about that?
Of course, absolutely. And especially with the shortened season anyway. So he's already a bit distracted heading into a year where he doesn't have the time to focus in the preseason, get those games, get those reps, all that practice. He's so supremely talented and has single-handedly helped me win a few seasons in the last few seasons. But I do worry about him right now heading into the year as a number 4, as we're here, pick.
Number 4 overall. So would you be more comfortable jumping down the running back board, maybe looking at a Derrick Henry or a Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the rookie? Or do you like taking that top wide receiver in Michael Thomas or Julio Jones?
Generally speaking, I would just head up right next to the right up to the next running back. But Michael Thomas is let me pull up his card real quick. But those guys are tempting this season, especially with Brady under center. So I still don't think at the end of the day I would end up with another running back like Thomas, like you said. But
I don't trust Kamara. I think his running style is he's prone to injury because of his size and the way he runs. And if you notice last year, he got hurt and he was off to an incredible start and then he got hurt. I think he's not as reliable as, say, like a Derrick Henry for sure.
I agree. The workload on Derrick Henry was tremendous last year, though, and the year before that, he almost disappeared. But for me here, I would say it would be between, since I also would go running back, either Dalvin Cook, who can also be injury prone and might also be a holdout, or Derrick Henry.
Yeah, Dalvin.
So what are we taking, guys?
So you would put Dalvin Cook and Derrick Henry in the same, 1-2 category right there?
I would. They're both considered, I guess, tier 2 running backs, like with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. But I don't want to use the 4th pick in the draft on a rookie. As good as they say he is, we just don't know.
That's a very good point. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
with that
you can't take a rookie there. That's crazy. Unless
you're the computer suggesting. See, the computer 84% say we should take Kamara, 8% Dalvin Cook, 8% Michael Thomas, and nobody thinks we should take Davante Adams. So that's interesting. I do think Alvin Kamara is going to get a lot of looks out of that backfield, though.
Till he gets hurt.
I think it'll be a little bit of a slow start this season, but that could last only a week or 2. I mean, he's insanely good, especially in PPR too. He's a killer.
He is. So we've looked at the three people who've already gone. McCaffrey, Zeke, and Barkley are the solid three, right? Those three are the easy ones.
Yes,
And
I
then
believe so.
after that, it's kind of a toss up. I think we agreed that we're going with Henry, though, right?
Yes, definitely.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the issues with his contract right now on Kamara's side put Henry over it, I think. Because we put this poll out the other day. It was really pretty 50-50 a lot. I was surprised that a lot more guys were on Henry. Because, like I said, without all this, off-the-field issues, I think Kamara is a better pick at number 4. But it does muddle the waters here, and I do like Henry a lot.
I think Henry's going to probably not have the year he had last year, but he's going to have a really solid year. He's just so big and strong, dude. I think they're going to rely a bit more on Tannehill this year, probably a lot more play action, but he'll have a great year. I mean, he's just too big.
I think he'll be good. Strong. I'm concerned in PPR that he doesn't catch enough passes. I don't think he can get the running yards that he got last year because that's just not sustainable. And his line isn't as good losing Conklin as it was last year, but he'll still be solid. So do we need to talk about any of these players that went off the board? So between that, Kamara, of course, Cook, Michael Thomas, Adams, Hilaire, Julio Jones, Tyreek Hill, Miles Sanders, Joe Mixon, Kenyon Drake, and Hopkins went.
We got Jari Bench on the chat saying that Adams is a beast, and I agree. So where are he going?
Adams is a beast. There's not a lot of weapons there.
He went 7.
There's not a lot of weapons there on Green Bay aside from Adams to pitch the ball to and the running game, and they're gonna throw the ball if he can stay healthy, which he didn't last year.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tougher for guys this year. We've talked about this also, the injury issues that are going to arise with the season shortened the way it is and without proper training. And we've already seen a few. So injury-prone guys might be worth, adding to that trepidation that you have. You have to consider they might be in even higher risk than usual.
Yeah.
Right.
Charlie or Jerry Branch is saying that Adams is a beast, and he's also saying Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones, I have my doubts about just where he's being drafted this year. They drafted a running back as well, and I think Green Bay always goes with that back by committee. If you look at where we're sitting right now, the last tier 2 running back left is Austin Eckler, right? Which a lot of people like them. They think with Melvin Gordon gone, he's gonna have a breakout year. I think he broke out last year. I think Justin Jackson gets his share of the touches last year, and the Chargers always do a dual back setting. So I think he's about in line for how he did last year, which was fantastic. So that would be one pick. I really like Josh Jacobs in Las Vegas. He likes Aaron Jones. I would probably fade Aaron Jones here, but Travis Kelce would be the other option. So I would say Eckler, Josh Jacobs, or Travis Kelce in the second round. Who's the safest pick?
Out of those 3, I would say it's not Kelce. I mean, I can't wrap my head around taking a tight end in the second round, even one of his caliber. So I mean, out of what you just brought down, I think Eckler's the pick there.
Yeah, I would say Eckler for sure. But yeah, what about Chubb? What about Nick Chubb? Great point, Jerry.
Nick Chubb went, didn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, Nick Chubb's off the board.
Oh, that would be why. I would not pick any player on my entire team that plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
As they defund the police, I'm not sure what those Raider games are going to be like in Las Vegas. So I really wouldn't take any Raider players at this point until I see what's going on with the state of COVID and the state of the society. Las Vegas and the Raiders is going to be a really interesting mix. I wouldn't touch any of their players. That's just me.
Not even Josh Jacobs.
No.
I don't know. I mean, did they announce
about Nick Chubb, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he asked about Nick Chubb. He already went. Personally, I would take Eckler, Josh Jones, or Aaron Jones, Josh Jacobs, or Aaron Jones over Nick Chubb. I think Nick Chubb's supremely talented, and he's on that offense. And at least at the beginning of the year, it's going to be his backfield. But Hunt is going to take over. He's too talented not to. take over. I think by mid-season, we're looking at least a split, if not sooner. And I think Chubb may lose that starting job. So I'm just not willing to invest the first or second.
Are you looking at Chubb's numbers? Chubb, it was a beast.
Chubb's numbers were fantastic.
I don't see it.
Oh, he was really good, but I think the more talented of those guys is Kareem Hunt.
No way. Chubb is an absolute beast, and they're going to rely on him heavily because their quarterback sucks. And so, I mean, come on. Nick Chubb's an absolute monster.
Well, I think they rely heavily on their running game, but like Jordan said, I mean, they have a very talented backup, I guess, even. And I see no reason why they don't split time. It would not make a whole lot of sense for them not to, honestly.
Well, yeah.
I can see Chubb getting the first and second down carries, but the third down carries are going to go to Kareem Hunt because he catches the ball better out of the backfield. And in a PPR league, Hunt by midseason is going to be the more valuable of the backs. You're still picking him up in the 6th or later round. I love that pickup, by the way. And because I love that pickup, I'm staying away from Chubb.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and make this pick.
I'm not a fantasy expert, but wasn't Hunt suspended for a long period of time?
Yeah, for being an asshole.
Character.
He was. And that's what got him cut from the Chiefs.
I'm pretty sure it's really hard to get points from a player if they're actually not in the NFL. So I wouldn't. It's a risky pick in my opinion. The guy has character issues, and
he certainly does have character issues. That's
yes.
For sure.
So don't you want your team, fantasy or otherwise, to have character?
I do. But that's not normally the number one thing I draft off of. So I like Travis Kelce. Can we get his card up here? I think he's the clear number one tight end in this draft. Last year, it's interesting. It was Kelce, Kittle, Howard, and Ertz was what everybody was talking about. And of the four, Kelce and Kittle really lived up to that, And I think Kelce is the clear number one and worth a second-round draft pick. What do you guys think?
Gronkowski?
That team scores a lot of points. He got over 100 or almost 100 receptions last year, and they score a lot of points, and they use him a lot in the red zone. So that would probably be my pick there. If I wasn't going to get Kelce, I would not take a tight end until way late in my draft. There's no Andrews for me, third or fourth round. I don't do that.
Kelce's a great pick. Kelce is one of the most consistent players in the NFL. The guy's an absolute beast, and he is just, he's on point. Have you guys ever seen him have a bad game? The guy is a great player. He moves the chains. He scores touchdowns. He runs the intermediate routes incredibly well. He can go deep. The guy is the entire package. Yeah, I think you pick him right there.
And there's something to be said also. The tight end is often like a throwaway position or an afterthought it's not where you're getting your points. Having a superstar tight end, and because it's harder to stream tight ends in other positions, there's a lot to be said about that. So for me, it would be between Eckler and Kelce here, and I think we're going Kelce, right?
Taking the tight end.
Put it on the board.
All right,
second pick. Ooh, a lot of good players going now. All right, now people who went too early. I do like Hopkins there. I really like the Kenyon Drake pick, but only if you can get him in the third. Same with Chris Godwin. If you can get him in the third, he is great. I think that several of these guys went too early. Miles Sanders is still unproven. We'll just have to see. Let me go to our big board. See, I think that's too early for Juju. Aaron Jones is probably a steal. Tyreek Hill, let's see if he can stay healthy. Who are we taking here, guys?
Let me see. Well, we already have our tight end. Kittle's a nice choice in the third round. I would be okay with that had we, if this team had two running backs or 1-1 right now, I think Kittle in the third is a very nice pick. Otherwise, like Jordan said, wait on your tight end.
Yeah,
I agree. I think Kittle in the third may have been better if we had taken off Eckler in the second, but we couldn't have known he would still be there.
Yeah, but again, that's exactly, you don't know. And it's a tricky position this year. I mean, it's unusual to get such points from a tight end. So,
right.
Maybe it does make sense to take him 2 and then follow it up with a number 3. Keep building on that.
What about?
I mean, I draft for trade bait too, and since it is a flex league, I mean, we could take Kittle in the 3rd and have Kelsey at tight end and Kittle in our flex spot. I have done that before, quite a few years ago when I had Gronk and Antonio Gates, and I actually won that year.
What about?
So that was pretty happy.
What about?
We don't even have a card for him. He's not even in. He's not anywhere.
No, Gronk isn't coming till is going way late in the draft. I mean, everybody just thinks he's old. He's not. He's worth like a late round flyer, but most of the mocks I see, he's not even getting drafted.
Really? I'm surprised. I would take a flyer on him.
No. Listen, I would agree that it's a wild card, no doubt, but he could have a monster year. I mean, he could explode. He's had a year off. I think, this is where the computer.
They just don't need him as much as Brady doesn't need him as much as he did in New England. He has such, honestly, better weapons right now to work with.
Well,
that,
you could.
I think either way.
You can look at that either way. You're going to look at those better weapons are going to be doubled, and Gronk's going to be single covered and just killing everybody.
Really though, I mean, we can't double cover everybody, and you can't. It's going to be tough enough to double cover 2 guys.
Double 2 of them.
The thing is, they have 2 other really good tight ends in Cameron Brake and O.J. Howard. So I think Gronk comes in there. He was really skinny and out of shape. He's a lot more of the mentor type for the other 2, and they spread the balls around between all 3 of them. In my opinion.
We'll see.
We'll see. I could be wrong. I think though, because we went tight, because the running back position is getting depleted here, you can find value at wide receiver late in the draft, and because we went tight end early, you can't really go quarterback early. We have to take a running back. We're down to the tier 4 running backs. It's really in those: Todd Gurley, James Carter, Chris Carson, Le'Veon Bell, Melvin Gordon, and David Johnson. They're all good. There's a lot of question marks there. I know who I would take. Who would you take?
I would take Gordon. I just trust him more out of all of those guys. I would definitely take Melvin Gordon. I would never take Le'Veon Bell. We never take a guy who missed a game, said he had the flu, and went bowling. I would never do that. No, I mean, Melvin Gordon is a solid player. And he's you kind of know what you're going to get with him. So I think I don't
think you do. See, he was a solid player. He's now on Denver, new coach. They already really have a running back in Philip Lindsay. Best case, and they have Freeman there as well. Best case scenario, you're looking at a 2-way split, if not a 3-way split. I think there's too many question marks there.
Where's Lindsay on this list? How come Lindsay is not an option for this round?
Once again, they picked up Melvin Gordon. He's going to be way down the list, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I still like Gordon. I just like what he did for the Chargers. And I don't know. I would just take that pick.
Really? I would take either David Johnson on Houston here, but there's too many injury concerns. Or I like Todd Gurley. Everything I'm reading is they've cleaned his knee up. He looked really good. New team, that Atlanta offense should be pretty fantastic, actually. If you think you got Matt Ryan airing it out to Julio Jones and the rest of the receivers on that team, and he can just run the ball. And also, they throw a lot out of the backfield. Look at what Devontae Freeman's done there the last few years. So I like the Todd Gurley pick there a lot. I was a big fan of Carson last year, but I think it's too much of a split this year.
Right.
If that's the direction we want to go in. Matt, do you want to be the tiebreaker for us?
No, because I agree with you. So, yeah, well, actually, yeah, I guess that would break the tie.
That would break.
I read the same thing about Gurley. If you had asked me this a month ago, I wouldn't touch him. But I've been reading some good stuff coming out of his workouts. Like you said, apparently his knees got cleaned up. So
yeah,
I'll give him another chance this season. But if I don't see much, I think he's pretty good to be done.
Can't always
be
2 and 3 years ago, he was the number 1 pick overall. If we get him 3rd round and he puts up anywhere close to those numbers, you win your whole league. I don't see anybody else right there who's a league winner.
No, that's
and that
includes
Gordon. Gordon could be solid.
Finding the next Lamar Jackson. Finding that guy who's not necessarily. I mean, Lamar Jackson was going much later than the 4th round last year, but finding that guy who you can pick up, who essentially will lead their position in points, and you don't have to essentially pay for it. That's the kind of stuff that wins you a league, like Jordan said. Yeah, so You're right.
Yeah.
He's the only player here that has a chance, I think, in this group that we just talked about.
A lot of talk of
Yeah.
Gurley's knee and the injuries, et cetera, so forth. But the biggest difference was he had a great offensive line in front of him the year that he really broke out. And then they went downhill a little bit, and he didn't play as well. And it's always been the knee. And so now it's all cleaned up. Now he's all good to go. I don't know. I don't trust it. I just don't trust it, especially playing in Atlanta. I don't trust that situation.
Atlanta runs the ball pretty well traditionally. They don't have the line that LA had that season or the Rams did that year. But,
Right.
I think that there's guys. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys have success running the ball in Atlanta recently, so that doesn't worry me too much. The knee does, but I don't know. I'm willing to give it a chance. I mean, that's what winning fantasy is all about, taking big chances like this, I think. So.
That's right. It is.
The other one that's just a huge gamble that right there is that David Johnson. I mean, he was a consensus number 1 pick in the draft before he had 3 or 4 injury-riddled seasons and got run out of Arizona. But he's a 3-down running back. O'Brien really liked him. He way overpaid for him and got rid of Lamar Miller. They're about to make him the number 1 there in Houston. I just have concerns about that offensive line. He's never run behind such a bad offensive line, and he ran in Arizona. So that's saying something. I guess they get Tunsil back, Laramie Tunsil, and they could be better. But David Johnson could have a monster year. I just think the 3rd is too high for him. If he's still available in the 4th, I would probably snag him. So I guess we're happy with this. Are we happy with this, John?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Let's see who goes now. All right, there's a run on quarterbacks. You see that?
Yeah, some quarterbacks going. Yep. Tight
All right,
ends
so
are going.
Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson went. Those would be
where's
the two I
George?
would.
Dak Prescott's up there.
Well, and Jari's saying it here in the chat that he thinks he heard that Carson Wentz got hurt again, and he thinks Cam Newton's going to have a monster year, which I completely disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah,
I hear great things about Cam Newton out of camp, and as a late round flyer, since he's almost not getting drafted.
Yeah.
If you look, this is a 1 quarterback 10-team league. They have Cam Newton at quarterback 15. He is free. So at 3, I would take a flyer with Cam Newton in the last pick of the draft, maybe like right before I took my kicker, and who knows, maybe he does have a monster year. I hear he's healthy, and if he looks good, that would be great. Lucky for us, none of there was a run on wide receivers there for sure. Moore, Thielen, Beckham, Woods, Amari Cooper. I really like Amari Cooper this year. And so we still have all of that tier of running backs. So David Johnson still being on the board, James Conner, all those. I probably would wait on quarterback because I'm not a big Dak Prescott fan. I would much prefer to get Russell Wilson after the 7th or 8th.
absolutely.
Than take Dak Prescott in the 4th. But that's just me.
I agree with that.
If we're looking big board, they have us taking either Cooper Kupp, Chris Carson, James Conner, Calvin Ridley. A.J. Brown's going to have a big year. 2nd year wide receiver for Tennessee. He had a great rookie season. I only see him getting better, actually.
I love that guy. That guy is a absolute beast. He's one of my favorite wide receivers in the league. I would take him immediately.
Would you over Cooper Kupp,
Tannehill's
though?
going to have Tannehill.
That's my pick, Cooper Kupp. He's done a lot of really nice things for me in my fantasy over the last few seasons, and he doesn't really get a lot of credit, especially in the draft. He's always underdrafted. Guys don't really seem to pay much attention to him, and it seems like it's kind of easy to scoop him up in the.
He missed a lot of football last year, though, too, right? He got hurt.
I mean, yeah, but that should happen.
He missed a few games. Kupp was a flex superstar for me his rookie year, and did really good things in a couple of my different leagues. Other guys I really like on this list, Terry McLaurin, Scary Terry. We don't know who's going to be quarterbacking there. Could be Alex Smith. You don't know. That would be really interesting.
That would be so awesome.
McLaurin has his breakout year this year that he's going to show. And I like DK Metcalf as well.
Yeah.
But hear a lot of good stuff coming out about DK Metcalf this season so far.
Metcalf is an animal. He goes up and just beasts people. Pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, he's a great receiver. Actually reminds me of the kid, the AJ Brown kid in Tennessee a bit too. So, but the Tennessee kid, I think I think he's gonna have a breakout year. I really do. I mean, he showed flashes of absolute greatness last year. And I'm telling you, they're going to open it up this year. They have to. They're not going to be able to do what they did last year and win the same way. It's not going to be Derrick Henry getting 180 yards a game. They've seen what Tannehill can do. Tannehill is an accurate passer. He's got A.J. Brown. They're going to do a lot of play action, and they're going to throw the ball to this kid down the field. I guarantee you they will. They're going to change it up. They've got a great coach. He's a smart coach. They're going to change things up a little bit. They're going to attack with the passing game a lot more. This kid's going to have a monster year. I think you take him.
You think it's okay? It's a toss up for me. Probably here I would go running back again in the flex spot just because I think it's deeper wide receiver later. But I'm with you. I think AJ Brown is just too good of a player to pass up here.
I agree.
Right, and that leaves us with. Is that our first wide receiver off the board? It is, I believe. Right.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, with pick 4. So we went 0 wide receiver. Nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of value there late.
It's kind of like outfielders in baseball. Like you can wait. I think there's a lot of talent in the outfield. There's a lot of talent in wideouts.
And Melvin Gordon's still on the board. That's who they want us to take there. Scary Terry's still on the board. Tyler Lockett did well for me last year. David Johnson, DJ Metcalf, and Jonathan Taylor. Man, did I want Miami to draft him, the rookie. I think he's going to take over Indy's backfield. What do you guys think?
He is a great player. If you've ever watched his college reel, it's insane. Will that translate, though? I mean, you look at somebody like Leonard Fournette, who's a solid player, but didn't even come close to what he's done in college. So
right.
I don't know. I think it's a rookie. It's a rookie, man. I mean, it's risky.
Yeah, I've done great taking. I always take 1 or 2 rookie running backs because I think there's value there. I took Barkley his rookie year. I took Josh Jacobs last year. I took McCaffrey his rookie year. But I'm with you. He's very interesting. I'm just worried about that coaching staff in Indy. They still have Hines. They still have Mack. There's a lot of depth on that team. I think he absolutely takes over that backfield, but it's not till mid-season or so that he starts producing for you. So if you're in a dynasty league, that's the pickup by far. But we're not drafting dynasty. We don't get to keep our players year over year. And so this little bunch here, it's real interesting. What do you guys think? Gordon, Bell, Keenan Allen, Scary Terry, Tyler Lockett, who I really like. I had him on my team last year, one of my teams. David Johnson, DK Metcalf, Jonathan Taylor.
Well, as we spoke before, hard avoid on Le'Veon Bell. That's an easy one. It seemed like we're kind of split about Melvin Gordon, but I like Keenan Allen. I don't know if I like him with this pick, but only because we might need another running back right now. But I think he's gonna have a great season as usual, and also Tyler Lockett too.
He's injured every year. He's injured every year, and he's got a rookie quarterback. I like Scary Terry more than Keenan Allen, and I like Tyler Lockett probably more than both of them.
I'm with you. I like Lockett, solid player. He rarely gets hurt, scores a lot of touchdowns. I like Lockett, just a very solid pick.
He is. My only concern about Lockett would be the Antonio Brown thing. There's rumors of him going there. They already have, they added Olsen, who's going to take targets away of the tight end position. Disley's coming back, so they'll have 2 good tight ends. Nobody runs the ball more than the Seahawks. Then you got Lockett on one side, Metcalf on the other. If they add Antonio Brown, he disappears down the stretch. But I don't think you can draft him.
Antonio Brown's not going to play for the Seahawks. You believe too much in what you read. You thought he was going to play anyway? Yeah, he's not going to play for them.
I don't think he plays for anybody. Well, it's a good story.
Yeah, I like Lockett. That's their guy. Solid, incredible hands. It is absolutely a solid pick. It's a safe pick. I mean, obviously, if you're not going to pick him because you're thinking Antonio Brown's going to go play there, I think that's a little crazy.
But if you look right here, we have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, both the Seahawks wide receivers. I'm not so sure Tyler Lockett should be ranked above DK Metcalf. I think Metcalf's going to beast out this year.
Yeah. Hey, guys, y'all are going to have to finish this one without me, but continue on. We're having lots of fun. Don't forget that UWager put all these slides together for us. They did a lot of cool stuff. There is a promo code there. Jerry, go check them out, bro. Use the promo code. Do us a favor. All right. I'm out. Y'all enjoy. Be entertaining and informative. And your team does suck, Jordan. Even though it's awesome.
Yeah, so does mine. Whatever.
Right.
Leave it. John would auto draft after the third round.
I would. I just
Well,
auto
if
draft.
history have taught us anything, that means he would win our league. So
There you go.
True. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace.
there you go. All right, so where are we at here? We got. I think Lockett's a good bet. I think we've decided.
Yeah, I think I would go with David Johnson here, another league winner.
Really, the injuries don't concern you that enough, huh?
It does, but I think he breaks out. Remember, it's our third running back, right? And the other thing is he'll make incredibly good trade bait. And just looking down here, we've got Parker, T.Y. Hilton, Stephon Diggs. There's a lot more good wide receivers than good running backs coming up.
You're right, AJ.
Marquise Brown, Julian Edelman. I mean,
Just
you know what I
like
mean? I think
all around.
what?
All right, I'm cool with that.
But do you like David Johnson more, or do you like Melvin Gordon more here?
It's so tough.
Or
I mean,
Le'Veon
if David
Bell.
Johnson stays healthy, if David Johnson stays healthy, yes, totally. But that's a huge if, and he's burned me twice so far, which is that's a big loss. 1 year was a number one running. I think I took him number one season.
I took him number one in a couple spots 1 year.
Immediately fucked.
I'm still going to take it again because we're running a team here of former number one overall picks, right? Hope they can stay healthy.
We have a theme now.
Yeah, hopefully here in the 11th or so we can take Adrian Peterson just to roll out that theme.
Oh God. Well, they're saying what's his name? Fournette might go there.
It might, yeah. I don't know where Fournette goes. I'm hearing a lot of different things. I'm hearing Seattle. I'm hearing Rams as well.
Rams. I don't know if I heard the Rams. I heard a lot of Patriots.
I don't see how he goes to the Patriots. They have Harris, who they just drafted. They have Sony Michel. They have White, and they just picked up Lamar Miller. You're going to add Fournette to that? We're going to have a 5-way split?
They do weird shit with their running backs. They always have a ton of them,
but they already have
them. But yeah, I don't know. I'm surprised nobody's snagged him yet. He's such a good talent. But we'll see.
Yeah, well, he just opened up. So somebody jumped down and took Watson, quarterback 6. Out of these, I actually like Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson a lot, but I'm not ready to take a quarterback yet.
Yeah, I looked at that earlier. Kyler Murray definitely piqued my interest.
See, now we got to get our number 2 wide receiver. I really like T.Y. Hilton. I think he put up solid numbers last year, not spectacular, with Brissett throwing him the ball like basically nobody. And you give him Phillip Rivers, who likes to go deep, he's going to have a big year. I like Stephon Diggs as well.
Also myself as well.
And Tyler
Boyd, I think Boyd's a clear second to Hilton and Diggs, but if I was forced to take him in this round, I wouldn't be upset about it. If those 2 guys were on the board and I needed a wideout, Landry to a lesser extent, again, the talent's there, but it's a lot of question marks, and he's a little banged up right now, I believe.
Oh, I would take Adrian Green over Landry personally, and over Gallup for that matter. I think Gallup might disappear a little bit with CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper there in that running game. I wouldn't take Gallup that high. AJ Green, though, the rumor is he's healthy for the first time in a while. He's got a better quarterback, accurate quarterback in Burrow, and he's a big target. So I think in this round, wide receiver 2, we have to take the safe pick, which is either Hilton or Diggs. I'll let you pick that. And then the next round, if AJ Green's still there, we jump on him. What do you think?
I mean, you say a safe pick. AJ Green, I wouldn't call him an unsafe pick. And actually thinking about it right now, I feel like he does have a lot to prove in a season where he has a compatible quarter. Yeah, that's a word. Good quarterback. And I don't know. I do like that, but I think you're right. There's Hilton and Diggs, and I would take Hilton over Diggs. But it's close.
All right, I'll take Hilton there too. He's a good 10 picks down the board, so I'm hoping he'll be there on the turn, and I do like him at this stage in the draft a lot. All right, so we had some more. Both the quarterbacks I kind of like. I should have expected that, right?
Yeah, but I think we're okay still there. It might be
Josh
about,
Allen, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Drew Brees. Yeah, it's not bad. I like Ben Roethlisberger as well this year. So Mark Ingram's there, although they drafted that J.K. Dobbins, who I think is going to eventually take over that backfield. Like I said, I love Kareem Hunt in this spot. I like Marquise Brown. I like A.J. Green. Edelman always puts up numbers. Right now, we're basically drafting who's going to be our flex superstar, right?
which I think Kareem Hunt has a wonderful, wonderful chance of doing. And I don't know, it's the kind of picks I like to make. I generally, with football, love to take guys who are coming off a down year, coming off an injury, and I guess whatever the fuck Kareem Hunt's coming off of. But nonetheless, I mean, it's still some sort of a redemption, I guess. And obviously it's hurt his draft position. You know, he's technically in a platoon, I suppose, but I see him as we talked about earlier. He's definitely more talented, I think, and more versatile. They're both great, but
I like it. I think we go AJ Green here only because if you're looking at our draft board, we have Derrick Henry, Tom Gurley, and David Johnson. So
right, I forgot we took Johnson.
What?
I forgot about Johnson. He could be a good flex too, actually.
Oh, he could. Our team is shaping up though, very nicely, actually.
All right, so yeah, let's find our flex star. That's a good call.
And I think the flex star is Marquise Brown. If we're sticking with the number 2 wide receiver or second-year wide receivers scene, Marquise Brown could be a flex superstar. I read that Julian Edelman was banged up. He's been my flex in the past, and he's done quite well, especially in a PPR league. He gets so many targets, but who knows how that offense is going to look this year. I really think for me, it's AJ Green here. What do you think?
Again, I would have been okay, with him in the last round if we had some different choices at the top. I think Lockett was a better choice, but I wouldn't be upset taking it. So he fall in another round. I think it's fine. I'm okay with that completely.
What about Hollywood Brown?
I think the backfield in Baltimore could get a little murky, especially with the quarterback running all over the place. So as much as I like Mark Ingram, now that he's not on the Saints, I would probably steer clear of him here. What did you ask me? Sorry.
Ingram, I wasn't very high on last year either, and he really proved me wrong. He had quite the breakout year. I was totally wrong about him last year, and once again, I'm not very high on him. So I guess that's a little bit of carryover. He did not win me over, so I think.
It's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me for like 4 or 5 seasons, and then you break out. Like, okay, I'm gonna need one more year, and I think we're not alone because if confidence was high of him coming off that season, he would be a lot higher than he is here.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to let him Devontae Parker me, I was Devontae Parker so many years in a row.
Oh, my God, it's awful.
Yeah. It was so bad. It was like 3 years in a row I got Parkered. But anyway, what about Devin Singletary? What are your thoughts there?
I love this offense. I love this team. I love him, but it's a little bit of the unknown that worries me. We're the complete opposite with AJ Green, aside from his possible injury issues. But it's like you said, what you're getting out of him, and you're getting him with a better quarterback, in my opinion.
Right. Now, Marquise Brown doesn't have the injury issues, and he really started to break out last year. So I think it's a toss-up. For me, it's between those two. Who do you like?
I think you had me sold on Green. If it was just me, I probably would snag him.
All right, let's do it.
These days. Do I have a card for him? I don't know. We might be out of our card zone. Yeah. I think we're out of our top 100 or 50 or whatever. Ingram's still there?
Is he? Yeah, he's going to sit there for a minute, I guess. That's tempting now, isn't it?
Almost. After we just shit on him a little bit.
56, and he goes all the way down to 71 there. Right?
I mean, there's nobody I see yet that I would take over him right now. Kirk, maybe. Kirk's tempting.
There's no more Breida in San Francisco, so Mostert is the man. That's
and he's
tempting.
Awesome. Right? That's tempting too. I agree 100%. He showed a lot of.
I wouldn't take Marvin Jones. David Montgomery is injured and screwed me last year, so we'll stay away from him. I like Brandon Cooks as the Hopkins replacement in Houston. I mean, I think he's always been good, and I think he continues to be good with Watson throwing him the ball.
It's a good bet that he takes a jump this season. I think you're right. If you don't have a tight end, I like Hunter Henry here too. Also, we do have one, but I think I don't know. I've done well with him in the past.
I do. They have Tyler Higbee above Hunter Henry, and I totally
Looking at that.
disagree.
Yeah, me too. I think Henry's in the right spot, but Higbee's way too high. Sterling Shepard also. We talked about a few weeks ago how Giants passing game could really shape up. Were you the one telling me that Danny Dimes put on like 20 pounds of muscle?
They said he worked out a lot in the offseason, and I was hearing all good things. And then the last couple of days, I'm not hearing good reports about him, that the offense is sputtering in practice, but he's taking full responsibility. Yeah,
That sounds right.
I like
Okay, so
Kirk, too.
Christian
The
Kirk,
A&M
very
boy,
much,
but not willing to jump down that far yet,
yeah. Golden
Getting
Tate's
way
hurt.
Somebody already took Leonard Fournette. Look how far they went down to take him.
Well,
Wow, people are bad.
yeah. I mean, the guy's not even on the team yet, technically. I mean, he's not playing
No.
week 1, right? No matter what happens.
You never know. He's healthy.
I mean, he's in shape and he's healthy. Sure, I guess as a running back, it's not that difficult. I mean, all things considered, it's a less difficult position to jump right into. I don't know. I don't hate Ingram here, even though we're kind of stacked, even though we're kind of busy on running backs. But thinking about it like this is just a mock draft. However, if this was a real league, Mark Ingram might make a good trade.
I agree. I like Mark Ingram there just because of value. If it wasn't that he had so much higher value, I would probably go Brandon Cooks here. So I'll leave that.
Yeah,
up
like
to
you said, he might lose that starting position, but it's not going to happen right away. So in the first few weeks, if he starts running well, like you said, that might be a trade up really nicely. Yeah, so I like that pick. As
Mark
much as
Ingram,
I
put it on the board.
have question marks about him, but like I said, he's burned me in the past.
I mean, the fact that he went in the same round as Jamison Crowder, that doesn't even make sense, right?
No. All right, what do we got here? J.K. Dobbs, like you were talking, but we can't take another damn running back.
I don't know. I always stack up on running back and then trade out. It's that time. What round are we in? We're in the 9th round. I would probably start thinking quarterback here.
I think you're right, because we just had a few more jump off the board in the last round, and there's still Brady, Breeze, Stafford. We talked about him yesterday, the day before. Could have a great season. He was on route to have an amazing year last year, and then got hurt after week 8, I think. So possible. Aaron Rodgers too is, I don't know. He fucked me real hard the last season, but
I like
but he's
Big
Aaron
Ben.
Rodgers. Yeah, I know that you were very high on Big Ben, and I think again these are solid options. Nothing here is blowing my skirt up, but I'd be happy to at this round take any of these good veterans. I think Daniel Jones.
I would probably wait on all of them just because I don't think QB 16, who I would be happy with, is even getting drafted. So I think we need to start talking about our sleepers at other positions now. And I always like to take my defense early. So they have the top defenses up here. It's San Francisco, Steelers, Ravens. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think the Patriots defense, they were number 1 last year. I would be happy with the Bears even at number 8. I don't know why the Bears are ranked below the Chiefs, but
I don't know. That's really weird, actually. Yeah, they should be up there with the Patriots and the Bills. There's a lot of good defenses this season, actually. I think any of those top 6 or 7 defenses, and you'll be okay.
He had asked about us, Philip Lindsay. There he is in tier 8. So here, I like Ronald Jones a lot. I think he might have a breakout year. I'm not as big as on Tariq Cohen. I do like Christian Kirk. I wouldn't go Higbee. We already have a tight end, but I really like Henry. Almost wish we hadn't taken a tight end so early because there's some good ones down here late.
Well, if we hadn't, we would have taken whatever in the third, Kittle in the 3rd probably. So.
Probably. I don't know. I just think this is the year that I go tight end early.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, this is the year to do it. I think. I mean, I've been reading a lot of weird stuff, like you talked about before, doing the double wide receivers. Like I've been reading a lot about that. Not taking any running backs, which is just to me seems completely insane because traditionally that's what you focus on. It's like handicapping a baseball game. You focus on the pitchers. Doing fantasy football, you really got those 1-2 running backs in your early rounds, I think. So, but it seems the landscape is changing a little bit right now. You got guys like Kelsey as a tight end who's just putting up insane numbers. So, yeah, I understand.
Well, the whole zero running back strategy is if you go that route, you should get the best tight end and a really good quarterback. And then what you do is you just stack up on handcuffs. There's enough handcuffs, backs by committee. I mean, we're in the 9th round. Probably by the 10th or 11th round, Philip Lindsay's not going to have gone, and he will put up numbers.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's so far down. I mean, I don't think he's an elite talent necessarily, but he's a very good player, and I think he still has a lot of room to grow and could have a pretty high ceiling. Though I don't see him making quick jumps. I think he could develop into a really good. He's a really good running back, but an exceptionally good running back.
I agree. Let's see what they think. The experts like us picking Christian Kirk here or Sterling Shepard. I
As a
wouldn't.
Giants fan, no Shepard. He's good, but I don't. I just don't know what we're gonna get from this passing offense.
Who? Arizona?
No, Arizona. I'm fine with the Christian Kirk pick. I would have been okay taking him, even maybe in the last round. But Sterling Shepard, I think he's talented, and like I said, I'm a Giants fan. This team has promise, but who knows, man? There's a lot of question marks.
I had Shepard last year in a couple spots, and he burned me. So we're going Kirk this year.
Yeah.
All right, and I think this is it for us because we had said we were going to do 10 rounds in this video. So
we're at cards, and we got some quarterbacks coming up still. But I think where's the big board? I think you were right to skip that quarterback pick. So we did lose.
Where is it? Nobody.
No,
So
nobody.
It's a 10-team league, and we're the last to take a quarterback. It looks like so. Drew
so we
Brees,
pretty much wait.
Stafford, Aaron Rodgers. You can pretty much wait till the end here, since I'm
Pretty
okay
much.
with Rodgers, Roethlisberger. If I'm going to wait on QB, I'm okay with a lot of these guys. If John was here, he would be talking about Tannehill, who should definitely go undrafted.
If George was here, he would have already stopped recording because we didn't pick Dak Prescott in the 4th.
That's true. He would have been quite upset. I can see that. So for our last pick, you want to round it out with our quarterback, or is there some big sleeper you really like here?
Again, I think that we did good by waiting to get a quarterback, and I think we could continue. If we were to continue through this, I think that, like you said, we'd be able to snag – there'll be 2 or 3 guys that don't go drafted that would be serviceable with what we have put together. Having said that, sleepers, I don't mean a sleeper in the 9th or the 10th round. I don't know. That's a good question. Who do we got still up here?
Let me show you what we got. There's some guys I like here. Okay, I think Jordan Howard has a good year for Miami. I think Breida in a PPR league also has a very good year. Anthony Miller, I'm not sold on. I don't know who the quarterback's going to be there. Right? If you needed a tight end, Hayden Hurst going to Atlanta. If you think Hooper was the #1 tight end last year, and he because that Atlanta offense uses the hell out of their tight ends. Matt Ryan loves them. So what do? They lose Hoop, and they go out and they get a former first-round pick in his, 2nd year now? Same as Andrews. He was first, and Andrews was a 3rd-round pick. He has all the pedigree, all the talent, and he's joining the team that uses their tight ends the most. So it's a sleeper tight end pick if we needed one. Hurst is a steal there, by the way.
Yeah, I like that too. And if for some reason you might be looking for a flex at this point, it could be an option as well. But I still see Hunter Henry up there, so I think I'd take him over any day.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just going down talking about sleepers.
I get it. Jerry Jeudy,
I really like on Denver. Go ahead.
No, it's probably the same. I mean, he's a youngster. He's in I think a good system for a developing wide receiver to be in, and I think they nurture him. I don't know. This season, what are we at? 108. I'd be okay with that, but I'd like to see him maybe in the 11th or 12th round.
Yeah,
not either, but I'd love to get him there.
Rager, I really liked for Philadelphia as a pass catcher before he got injured.
And there's Gronkowski, 118.
I'm avoiding Gronk altogether. I'm not an old timer like John.
No, I mean, but I mean, where 13th round? I mean, I guess he's not going to go undrafted because of his name recognition. People are going to take a chance on him. But where do you take a chance? How early? Well, yeah, totally. All those Patriot fanboys, you're gonna snag them in like the 6th round, thinking they got a steal.
Yeah, I mean, so I'll stay away from that. I love Daryl Henderson here, Rams running back. No more Gurley on that team. I think he takes over that backfield. I'm not sure if he's the most talented back in the backfield, but it's his to lose. And so, as a late round pick, 12th or 13th round, I really like that. Same with Robbie Anderson. Looking across, I would take him. Who else we got going down here? I like Alexander Madison, probably my number one handcuff in this year's draft, followed by Bart Scott.
There's your AP pick right there.
AP, put it on the board, and we close this one out. What do you think?
Let's do it, man. 48-year-old AP.
48-year-old AP.
No, it's good. I like to see those guys still up front. I mean, Peterson, apparently, what the hell's his name? Gore looks great in camp, which is hilarious that he's beating out Le'Veon Bell for a job.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, Breida's up there too.
I like Matt Breida a lot this year as the pass catching running back in Miami. They're going to use him.
I like that pick. Actually, that's the pick here. If we're reaching a little bit, not reaching, but if we're looking for a little bit of a sleeper, he's not really a sexy.
Don't need the.
Yeah, that's true. We don't need it at all. For our team particularly, yes, that is not a good
But who do we like better, Howard or Matt Breida? They're both on in the same backfield. I just think in PPR you take Breida. He's so fast.
I was going to say, yeah. Considering we're in PPR, Breida, and who the quarterback is going to be there, I think he has a very solid season. I'd be happy with that pick. Had we need, take him because it's the best pick on the board, I think. Which is another thing to consider when you're drafting. Sometimes granted, you only get a minute, 2 minutes, whatever for each pick, but you can get caught up getting really, really deep into the positions, and sometimes it's just the best play to just pick the best player on the board, because then you could always turn around and trade them also, which Jordan's an expert at. We could do a whole show on Jordan's trading.
I trade like crazy. I draft just for trade bait sometimes. You eat up an entire position.
I do the complete opposite. Like there's probably many years where I don't even make a trade at all.
Like I got the best 3 tight ends. Who wants to do business?
Yeah, totally.
There was one year in one of my leagues. I drafted early and I took defenses 3 picks in a row and I took the best 3. And it's kind of funny because you get it with like a 12th round pick. You get the best defense. All of a sudden it starts putting up points. And 1 week into the season, they're offering you a 4th or a 5th round pick for him. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, that's. I would say that's less your strategy and more.
I like our team.
Offered you that stupidity trying to do that, but whatever. I mean, you can play on that. I like our team too. We're definitely a little heavy on running back, but I don't hate that. I mean, that's the one position that I think is okay to have a little too much.
He's running back. I always try to go way too heavy on running back. I think that does it. We are right about at an hour for Your Team Sucks. This show brought to you by uwager.lv. Check it out. Sign up for football season now. Get to play in the free handicapping competition. There's a lot of other perks going on there. Use the promo code. Your Team Sucks 50 or YTS 50. And yeah, we'll see you for the next one. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to do a couple more of these mock drafts before the season starts.
Yeah, that was fun.
Peace.
We can go.